Good evening. When her baby was stillborn in 1994, Tina Trohill from Hull was told that there were no ashes following the cremation of her son's body. But now she's discovered that this wasn't the case. There were ashes and they were scattered without her or her husband being told in a Hull crematorium. Today, Tina has joined calls for a national investigation into how that could have happened. Our health correspondent Vicky Johnson has more.
20 years after Tina's son was stillborn at Beverley Westwood Hospital, and the pain is still raw.
It's so difficult to come to terms with the fact your baby has died and you've no idea why he's died. We was allowed to stay a couple of days so we could see William. We spent some time with him, and then the hospital asked if we wanted them to arrange his cremation.
The family was told there'd be no ashes. But last year, after hearing of investigations at other crematoria, Tina contacted Hull City Council and was told there had been ashes from her son, which had been scattered in the crematorium graveyard.
I can't make any sense of why anybody would think it appropriate to scatter somebody else's baby's ashes.
Representatives from the Hospital Trust and the City Council have offered their apologies and sympathies, but admit that tracing the relevant paperwork after 20 years could be a problem. The Trohills have been told that William's ashes are scattered here, but they've yet to receive any proof that this is indeed the case.
People are entitled to closure. We should have a full and frank investigation without doing a witch hunt, so that we can offer a better service to people and treat them with the compassion that they deserve in such a distressing time.
This is not just a local problem. Last year, the BBC asked all crematoria across the UK how they deal with the cremation of stillborn and very young babies. Of those who fully replied, it emerged that in one 5-year period, more than 1,000 ashes were not returned. Of those, in more than 300 incidences across the UK, there were no ashes left after the cremation process, and in more than 700 cases, babies' ashes were not returned to their families. Attitudes to stillbirth have changed drastically over the past 50 years. Parents weren't once encouraged to see, let alone hold, their lifeless babies. But now parents like Tina are demanding to know what's been happening to their children's remains after cremation. Vicky Johnson, BBC Look North, Hull.
Well, earlier I spoke to Glyn Perkins, who heads a group asking for a government investigation into this issue. And I asked him why do so many parents never get their baby's ashes?
At present, that's a mystery. That's what we're trying to find out. It could be for many reasons, but those parents deserve their ashes. Those parents should have their ashes. Anything that remains in a cremation chamber after cremation should be handed back to parents. Your
own 4-month-old daughter was cremated in 2007. What were you told afterwards?
Before the cremation, we were told that there'd be no baby ashes. There'd be no ashes from the baby, sorry. No remains at all. And my wife asked, not just a teaspoonful, and they said nothing at all. And it was as cold and callous as that, to be honest.
So in reality, you don't know where your baby is?
We don't have a clue. No idea. She could be on somebody's mantelpiece with their grandparents or parents, or...
I mean, it's a dreadful story. Why, in some cases, are babies' ashes being scattered in crematorium graveyards, but the parents, as in this case, the parents not knowing and not being told?
Absolutely. Again, that's something that we need to try and find out from crematoriums and from funeral directors. From what I can understand at present, it's the funeral directors that are instructing crematoria to strew the ashes, when in fact parents have been asking for them back.
Is it being done with the best intentions to spare further anguish, or is it actually causing the opposite?
No, absolutely not. It's causing the opposite. You know, any parent that's lost a child will tell you the same, and that is, it doesn't matter what's left over after a cremation. Anything that's left, a parent wants.
It gives closure, comfort, peace of mind, or whatever.
Yeah, it's that physical fulfilment that they have their child close to them. They know where their child is resting. Some people want the remains put into a bracelet, a ring, or a necklace, or even used in tattoo ink these days.
Very good to chat with you tonight. We're right to highlight this one. I wish you well with your campaign. Mr. Perkins, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very emotive subject. Certainly got people talking today. Maybe you've got a comment on this story. Maybe you've been affected by the issues that we've just been discussing. Your thoughts on this one, if you want to be in touch. The contact details, looknorth@bbc.co.uk. Text number 81333, 81333. Start the text with the word Look North, or follow me on Twitter, Peter_Levy. Tweet now. Very big response to our programmes